going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive.
I don't think anybody in my circle understands it.
What up, everybody? Come on, man. Let's get up in there.
Let me in there.
We got a request from Stephen Michael here. Dang, what is going on? Hold on.
Boom, 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 boom. I don't think I can mute myself though.
What you mean? What is it right now?
Nothing. It's on or it's muted.
All right. Okay, Instagram. Wait, where's Steve? What in the world?
I'm coming in, man. Oh, they got me on some Zoom action.
Hold on, yeah. Let me see if we can get this figured out.
There we go.
You mute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Instagram, let us know if you could hear Steven and if you could hear me. We'll see. I'm still hearing, I think.
I have it as low as I can go. It won't let me mute it.
Oh, your volume. That's fine. Let us know if you got any feedback. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What's going on? We're trying to do a simulcast. Steve, go ahead.
What's going on, guys? Steve Michael in the building. Can you hear me clearly?
Everybody, just let us know if you're getting any weird feedback or if you, you know what I'm saying, hear anything weird. If everything's good to go, we're going to get started.
Can you hear me clearly? I got all these cameras going on. I don't know what to look at. Oh, we got thumbs up.
Yeah. One person said lots of feedback. One person said thumbs up. So I don't know. Stevie Harvey.
I can hear both well.
Over and out. Okay. I guess we are good. Happy holidays from the AHA brothers.
Happy holidays.
I wanted to do this because first of all, Steven's been gone for like a year, seems like. Felt like a year.
It's only been 2 months.
It felt like a year that Steve's been gone. So wanted to bring Steve back. We actually just recently we recorded his interview, which is going to be absolute fire. Okay. And that's going to be releasing early January. So for those who have been waiting to hear Steve's story, see what he's been up to, y'all could probably tell he's changed a little bit since the last time you've seen him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just a little bit.
You know, y'all getting a little sneak peek action.
A little sneak action.
But we wanted to do this. We wanted to do this for a couple different reasons. Number one is Christmas. So we're on the tail end of the holiday season. We still got one more holiday left.
One more coming up. It's coming up, but it's, it's a week away.
It's a week away. And y'all, I mean, everybody, they be like, I want ready to get right for the new year. I want to do my New Year's resolution, new year, new me, all that stuff, right? Now I've been preaching to y'all for the past 5 years, 6 years, that when it comes to getting ready for that holiday, for the new year, you want to start 3 months before the end of the year, right? It sends a signal to the body and to your system that you're serious. You're going to take this serious this year. So if you haven't already started, you're already behind. That's the first thing. Now I gotta just keep it real with y'all. You behind, but we here to help you though.
Yeah, man, we can help you out.
We here to give you some pointers. We put together a challenge for you guys to get you jump started. And today we're going to be talking about the secret to holiday weight loss.
The secret sauce.
Right. There's a secret sauce when it comes to weight loss, especially during the holiday season. And there's some other stuff I want to talk about too, as far as like illness. A lot of people, we associate illness with cold and like the time of the year, but that's not really what's causing our illness. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Steve, I want to give you opportunity to say what up to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Get locked in before we get going.
What's going on to everybody? My name is Stephen Michael. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a AHA wellness coach. And what Chris was talking about the last 2 months, it was a little more than 2 months, but I was away. I decided that I needed to take some time because I felt that I was giving too much of myself away, with my clients and just, with AHA just in general. I love AJ, of course, but I needed some time for myself. I needed to take some time and just put a little bit of focus, energy, and intention on myself, and just had to go away for a little bit. So I was doing a lot of recharging, mentally, physically, spiritually, and the one thing that I like to explain to people is that, and maybe I'm gonna give you a little tip first. So Chris was talking about the secret sauce, right, during holidays. And holidays are a time where everyone gets together, everyone is hanging out with friends and family, and we really take this time and we focus on other people, right? It's a time that we look towards, looking forward to seeing our cousins, our aunts, and our uncles. It's a time that we really get distracted, right? And anytime that we find ourselves getting distracted, right, our focus just simply begins to waver. And you've probably heard this before, right? Where your attention goes, your energy goes.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when, this time of year, and we're not talking about just today, because the holiday season really begins in November. It really begins, towards that Thanksgiving, as Thanksgiving is kind of ramping up. And one of the things that you can do while you are going through this holiday season is to ensure that you are focused on yourself, right? Just because you go to a dinner with your friends and family, it doesn't mean that you need to simply enjoy or partake in the things that they typically partake in, or they typically do. Wavering off of your plans is going to be very detrimental. There was if you're in the Facebook group, I made a post yesterday, and there was a study done in 2019 with 2,000, it was a little over 2,000 adults. And what they found is during the study that they had them all on a diet. They can pick any diet they wanted, right? And they didn't tell them why they were particularly following them or what they wanted them to do. They just basically told them, we want you all to follow a diet, and we just want to keep up with you, right? So what they found was during this process, when they were actually following the participants during this time frame, which was during the entire holiday season, they found that 47%, almost 50%, almost half of all the participants decided that during this time they were going to abandon their diet completely. So they knew they were in a study. They knew they signed up for this. And during this holiday season, they decided they were going to abandon their diet, right? And then not only did they abandon their diet, they abandoned the diet. And also, one of the most shocking things was during the holiday season, they gained on average of 6 pounds. So let me just put this in give you a little bit of perspective. A normal, healthy human adult on a yearly basis is going to gain on average of 1 to 2 pounds per year, right? Now, of course, you're going to have outliers. You're going to have people that are above that, right? 4 or 5 pounds in a year, that's a lot, right? And then you're going to have people that are under that. You're going to have people that lose weight, and you're going to have people that only gain half a pound or a quarter of a pound, right? So this is where the average of 1 to 2 pounds per year comes from. So 6 pounds in the span of a 2-month period, right, is a lot. That's a lot of weight, right? So what does that tell us? That tells us that during the holiday season, if you are going through some sort of diet, or you are working on something, anytime that you put yourself or you put your mind or your body into a emotionally stressful state, right, which is basically you're dieting and then all of a sudden you abandon it, which abandon is a very, it's specifically used for that word for a reason, which means they had no intentions on going back. that no one intends on starting over. When you abandon something, you just leave it. You don't come back, right? So what happens is emotionally, what they did was they were losing some weight, and then they gained the weight that they actually lost, and then they gained an additional 6 pounds on top of that. Why do you gain that weight? They stated that the reason, and the biggest reason that they gained that weight, this is from the participants, specifically cookies, cakes, pies, these 3 specific foods. And then overall, one of the biggest reasons was they felt like it was okay for them to have a holiday meal with the family. I mean, if you think about it, the holiday season is 3 meals, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's 3 meals. But what happens is that holiday season is not just 3 meals, it turns into 2 months, right? Because you are eating throughout the entire time. It's the holiday season. So what happens is that, number one, when you lose weight, any weight that you lose, your metabolism is going to adjust, right? Your weight goes down. That means there's less energy that your body needs to expend in order for you to actually live and move that weight. So your metabolism drops a little bit, right? And then when you abandon your diet, recklessly abandon it, what then happens is that you just start eating normally. And not only are you eating normally, you're eating holiday foods, which is the cookies, the cakes, the pies, right? All the stuff that you really shouldn't be eating on a daily basis, right? Then your metabolism is already down. Now you're eating way more than you should at this time, and a lot of sweets. This is when the weight kicks in and it goes up, right? And then on top of that, because you had this, you gave up on your diet, there's an emotional unintended consequence that happens. This unintended consequence is primarily guilt. You're going to feel guilty for quitting your diet. You're going to feel guilty for essentially letting people down, because anytime you diet, usually people are watching. Hey, man, you lost a couple pounds. Hey, you look good, right? And then you gain that weight, you feel bad, right? Mm-hmm. This is, of course, guilt. So, of course, now not only are you eating bad, you're eating high sugar, your metabolism is already in the tank, it's kicking your butt, you're eating more than you should, and you're emotionally, of course, dealing with guilt, right? You add all those things together. This is why in that study, all these people, 47%, gained all this weight. And then not only did they gain the weight back, plus an additional 6 pounds, they never restarted at the new year. So through all of this, right, this major tip, through all of this, it's really about the C word, consistency, right? It's simply about setting a goal and then being consistent throughout this process. So what does this mean for you right now? If you are in a space where you are still in holiday season, and a lot of times that holiday season can trickle into the new year, right? You need to find a way to put yourself in a mental space where you do not allow it to trickle and continue, right? If you're already there now, what's done is done. If you've already started, stay consistent. I'll even give you this. It's Christmas time, 5 o'clock here in Central Time, 6 o'clock on East Coast. I mean, go ahead and have your meal. Enjoy your time with your family, right? And then tomorrow, get up in the morning, go for a nice walk, right? Make sure that you're drinking a lot of water, right? Do things to help your digestive system and your body process all that stuff. Make sure you skip breakfast. Make sure you skip lunch, right? Do OMAD tomorrow. There are things that you can do that are going to help offset. When you leave, don't take 2 and 3 plates. You know how we do. You take the
Got to
plates,
take that plate home,
stack them on top of each other.
Get the foil,
wrap them up in foil.
Wrap it up.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, back in the day, man, we used to take Tupperware. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, let me just go ahead and make sure I get some scoops of all this, make sure I'm good. So these are the type of things that happen during this time, right? So you can avoid a lot of that by once again, doing things that are going to help your digestive system. Walking is a fantastic way after a big meal to help you digest your food, making sure you're drinking water, make sure you get a nice amount of sleep. And then do not eat breakfast. Do not eat lunch. Make sure you only eat dinner. And the dinner that you eat, I would eat it raw, right? So you do those things. They're going to help you get through this time. And then make sure, and the final thing, my piece, make sure that you have a plan in place come the new year, right? Make sure you have a plan in place that you are committed to. There's something, me and Chris, we used to be in sales together. And one of the things that we called when we were going to go out and we were going to hit the field and we were going to go for sales, our sales manager would always say, hey, give me your blood, right? So like your blood number. So your blood number is like, no matter what, I'm going to hit this number and I'm promising it in blood. So like years ago, when people would get married, they would like cut their, not their wrist, they would cut their hand or they would cut their thumb, and then they would shake hands or put their thumbs together. And that was their way of joining their blood, signaling that they were one, right? So our manager would say, well, what's your blood? Like, no matter what, I'm going to hit this number. So it's essentially saying the same thing. So get your blood number for what you are going to do in the new year is making sure you're planning ahead, getting yourself in a place where you know, all right, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be successful with this. And then actually doing it. But you need to put action behind it, because if you don't, then what will happen is New Year's comes, and then it's a week after New Year's, and then 2 weeks after New Year's. And by the time you realize it, you're now coming up on summer, and you're looking down, you're like, man, my summer body ain't here yet.
Summer body is on snail mail.
Summer body's still loading.
It's in the snail mail. Man, it got lost in the mail.
It got lost in the mail, right? And this is what happens. And we all know this. I mean, if you've been dieting your whole life, you know how this process works. At the end of the day, you just need to find something that works for you. AHA has a plethora of different options available. You just need to find something that works for you, which is why we decided to do something a little different from our other challenges that's going to be starting New Year's.
Before we get into more information about that, I wanted to touch on something that the overall consensus. What you're essentially saying is you make a decision to do whatever diet plan, you break it for the holidays. It has some really, really bad repercussions. It essentially is shocking your system. When you start dieting, you start fasting, you start drinking more water, you're doing all the things that you're learning to do and you know are good for your body. Your body is saying, okay, cool. Your body's on board because your body's been working. It's finally getting some rest. It's getting some help. It's getting some resources. It's getting some support. So your body's on board, and everybody's in alignment. Mind, body, energetic being. We're all going to work towards this health and wellness. And then you decide, well, I know I promised you guys we was going to do X, Y, Z, but it is the holidays. It is mom's, biscuits. It is whatever the case may be. And you betray yourself. You betray your body. And there is irreparable damage that's done, because basically when you are eating poorly, you're drinking and you're let's just say you're on the SAT diet. Your body builds a defense mechanism against these habits because your body is here to work with you. It's your partner. It's going to work with you. So it builds a tolerance. This is where tolerances come from. It's not you just getting used to whatever you're eating.
That's a dangerous thought.
You know what I'm saying? It is your body is doing work. Imagine if you lived on a beach and there was a hurricane coming, and in preparation for the hurricane, y'all put sandbags down there to block the water. That doesn't just happen. It is something that you're doing, right? Intentionally to protect yourself from the storm that's coming. Your body does the same thing. Okay. I need y'all to understand that. So then once you say, okay, body, the storm is settling down, man. The storm is gone. You can remove the sandbags because now people want to go and enjoy the beach. You can't just have the sandbags there all the time. You remove the sandbags. The storm is gone. The water's going back down to normal. Everything's all good, right? And things are getting back to sunny days. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a typhoon hits you.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, you're caught off guard. You're unprepared, right? You have all types of damage to property. There's people that's going to be lost. It's going to be a completely different experience versus when you know the storm is coming and you're prepared for it. That's essentially what you're doing to your body when you're doing this yo-yo thing. People don't know that. They don't think of it that way, but it's exactly what you're doing. So you done tore out all your body's natural defense mechanisms, and then you decide, wow, it's Christmas, I'm going to just have this. And then you wild out. You wild out, and it does a tremendous amount of damage because there's no protection in place that would typically be there. So that's the reason why you see this excess amount of weight gain as well as disease. Now, when I was younger, I used to wonder, how is it that during the coldest time of the year, we see the most disease, right? The cold and flu season. Are we not in the cold and flu season right now?
Man, we're right in it. You better get that elderberry.
So how is it that viruses have a season? Like they go on vacation and then they come into town for the season. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is sick around the same time. It doesn't actually make sense. Cold is supposed to make bacteria and stuff slow down, and it suppresses. That's why we put food in the refrigerator or even the freezer. It preserves. It's not as active. It's not going. Why is it during the coldest time of the year that we see the most disease? Well, if we look at things a different way, right, through a healthy lens, think about what you're eating. Most people during this season, this cold and flu season, are eating the worst that they eat all year round.
They need them comfort foods to warm them up.
They get them comfort foods. They're less active, right? It's cold, so they're not out playing soccer. They're not out enjoying the sun. They're inside more. Just in general, it's cold outside. Nobody wants to be outside. So you're talking about a combination of toxic air, toxic foods, lack of activity, more drinking, less water. And now, on top of all of that, if you were doing some type of diet, you've thrown it out the window. So it's this compound effect that we see during the holiday season, which is why it becomes so detrimental during this time.
It's the worst time of the year.
It's definitely the worst time of the year. And also, then of course there's the mental part of it, right? When people don't get sun, if it's cold, if it's rainy, then there's a depression starts to set in. Seasonal depression.
Just that season, man. I don't. It's like depression. Just like it just knows. Hey, well, I'm on vacation. No, I'm not. Here I am. I'm back. Like
seasonal depression.
I mean, do you think that the lack of sunlight alone, like our bodies, literally use sun for energy? Your hair. A lot of people don't know this. Some people do, but your hair actually it's not dead. Your hair is alive. It has
a very important function.
It literally energetically, it's an antenna. It absorbs sunlight, and then it helps to then change that into energy that you can then use and process in your body. I mean, and we're not getting any. Mixed with the air, mixed with the foods, mixed with the increase of alcohol, mixed with the inability to then connect with our friends and family because of people not wanting to leave the house, because they're sick. All these things mixed together makes it the hardest time of the year. So then mix it with the holidays where people are like, well, I don't feel good, but I'm going to pretend because it's Christmas, right? I don't go swipe my credit card because I got to buy these gifts. I'm going to put myself into more debt.
That financial stress is crazy.
Right? You add that on top of it. Now, right, emotionally, you got to find some comfort, man. You got to find comfort from somewhere.
Need a coping mechanism.
So then you go to your food, man. More people drink than ever. There's a huge uptick in DUIs, drug or alcohol-related injury and death during this time, right? All this happens for a reason, but we are told it's the happiest time of the
holiday season.
I mean, we have to put on a happy face. Right?
And also think about this, and I know this is going to resonate with y'all. You got to spend time with them relatives that you don't like.
You don't even like them.
You don't even like them. They're in your house, right? Not only do you not like them.
Eating up all your food.
They're in your house. They're complaining about the food. They're complaining about their room. They're starting arguments. They're talking behind your back in your own home, or you're with somebody else's family. They don't like you. It becomes monumentally stressful but it's all under the guise of it's the holiday season.
We gotta do it. It's that
the
time of year.
most wonderful time.
We just put up with it
of the year.
I mean, listen, we not. I wish we had like emojis or gifs. I put a little Grinch face on right now. Listen, we're not really Grinches. We're being honest, right? And we're telling and we're explaining things that people don't really think about. Like they don't think about how the holidays actually affect them in a negative way. And it's not that we're trying to be negative, but we're being honest and being real. I mean, everyone in here that is watching this has a desire to be better and do better with their health and their wellness. And this time, this 2-month period is actually a very difficult, hard time for the world. And people really don't know why or really understand, but we're being bombarded on so many levels and we don't realize it. And one of the reasons that we don't realize it is simply because we're told this is the time to be happy. So be happy. So
suck it up. If y'all are enjoying this live, you know what I'm saying? We took time out of our holiday season to come and do the live. Hit the like button for us. Hit the heart button.
Hopefully Chris will make us something good today.
Look, one of the reasons why we decided to create the R72 program. Okay, so now we're shifting gears, right? We want to be solution oriented. One of the reasons why we decided to do it was, number one, there is a large demand for a program that's gonna focus on weight loss, help people lose weight. The timing of the release is perfect because as we roll into the new year, a lot of people are motivated to want to do better. Why is it that we want to do better when it's the new year? It's because we've realized in retrospect that we've effed off our entire year.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do this. We've been trying to do that. You start this, you don't finish it. And so you're like, look, I gotta get the reins. I gotta get back control of my life. And so during the new year, people want to do that. So we want to capitalize on that seemingly natural motivation that people have. But it's not enough to just have motivation, right? Because we talked about this in one of my lives maybe 2 weeks ago. You need a regimen. You need a regiment. So what did Steve and I do? What did Shell and I do? We put together a regiment. Now, for those of you all who have been in our challenges before, you already know what it is. You know how electric the challenges are. If you've never been in a challenge, hopefully you get an opportunity to try it, to see what it's all about. But this challenge is going to be unique because what we've done is we have lowered the bar of expectation. What are you expected to do in order to be successful in this challenge? We have brought it down to a level where no matter if you're a beginner or if you've been with AHA for the past 5 years, there's a place for you to fit in. And the goal here, let's lose some weight. Let's lose some weight. Let's talk about gut health, right? Let's talk about the secrets of losing weight. Because once you understand how the body functions, how it thinks, its logic, then you can work with it, give it the resources it needs to be successful. It makes everything so much easier. People think, oh, you guys are fasting gurus, you guys are fasting pros. No, we just learned how to talk to the body. And because when you learn how to talk to the body, it will give you feedback and you guys could work as a partnership and you could actually work and get a lot more done versus one person just screaming all the time and not listening to the other person, right? You don't get much done. There's no synergy there. So we're going to teach you how to build synergy within your body, which is why we're seeing people drop 50 pounds in a month. It's why we're seeing people lose 90 pounds in 3 months. It's the reason why we've seen such amazing things is because the body is phenomenal when you have a good relationship with it. So the R72 challenge, it is a rolling fasting cycle. Okay, so you're gonna
wait a minute, 50 pounds and I ain't got to fast for the whole 50 days, 30 days. I could do an R72 and lose.
I didn't say that. Where'd you hear that?
I don't know. Maybe I was hyping it.
The goal. I did not say that. I said this is why we've seen people lose 50 pounds in 1 month, because they built a relationship with their body. They understand the logic of the body. The R72 is actually designed to help you lose 20 to 30 pounds in 1 month, which is still incredible.
All right.
Still incredible.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
I like to keep expectations to a minimal. which doesn't sound good, but it is, because if you guys meet the minimal expectation, you're happy. If you exceed it, you're ecstatic, right? So when we talk about how much weight you could lose, typically I like to talk about minimals. Sometimes I will talk about like best case scenario, but I don't do that as much. So we're looking to lose between 20 and 30 pounds. Anybody want to lose 20 pounds to start the new year? What would that do for you? What would it do for your confidence? What would it do for your wardrobe? What would it do for your interaction with your mate? Some people are dealing with, being lonely. They've been lonely for years. They don't feel like they're up to the standard of the type of person they want. Maybe this year is the year where we change that. Like, why do we have to run around in life wishing and hoping and praying and waiting for somebody to save us when you guys have all the tools that you need to do it yourself? You know what I'm saying? One of the questions we get all the time: what happened to XYZ person? I saw this interview. It's 5-year-old. What happened to that person? They probably still on their grind. They're probably still doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's this expectation that you're going to lose this weight and then you're just going to lose all the benefit and you're going to go back to square one. Well, maybe, but it's not. It doesn't have to be that way.
And people like a good comeback story. I'll tell you what.
People who decide that they want the outcomes and they want to maintain, you've got all the tools to do it. And we're going to make it as seamless as possible. We're going to be fasting for 3 days at a time, okay? Most of y'all have done at least 1 day of fasting. If you haven't, we're going to do a preparation. We're going to teach you how to get to at least being able to do the 3 days of fasting, right? 3 days of fasting is going to give you the most benefit for the least amount of effort. It really doesn't get better than a 3-day fast. Then we're going to further bolster your results by showing you raw food. So in between the eating, we're going to have a specific type of dietary strategy where we're going to be maximizing the energetic composition of the food, the hydration of the food. These are going to help you digest well. This is going to nourish your gut biome, all of the things that you need to continue to lose weight and reverse disease while you're still eating. We're going to go right back into our fast. Meanwhile, we're going to be feeding your mind, right? We're going to be teaching you guys, how are you going to maintain this? What is your interaction with the people around you need to look like? What are some tools that you can develop that are going to help you be successful? And then, of course, we've got the greater group, right? Now you're going to be able to interact with other people who are on the same page. So when you slip, you don't fall. Someone's there to catch you. For whatever reason, people tend to be more accountable to other people than they are to themselves. It's one thing that I really want to work on helping everybody break. We want you to learn to be accountable to yourself because it's the most powerful thing in the world. You don't need motivation. You don't need all this other stuff. You don't need all this dramatic music and da-da-da-da-da when you can be accountable for your own actions. We all run around. We're adults. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown woman. But you're not accountable for what you say.
Woo! Oh, man, you go step with toes. Man.
I don't care, man.
You go step with toes on this holiday season.
This is what we doing. This is called tough love. One of the things that my mom instilled in me was to be a man of my word. So I do my best, and I'm not perfect, right? Don't be mistaken. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I do my best to say what I mean what I say, walk the talk the walk, all that stuff, and be consistent. You're going to make mistakes, but that's okay. That's a part of it because you're a human being, right? No one's asking you to be perfect. Steve, what's the quote?
Perfection is not needed, but consistency is a must.
We're just asking for consistency. We're going to make this seamless for you. So we've put together an amazing program. What else did we do? Because you guys have been asking for the past 5 years for a cookbook, and I've been stringing y'all along. It's like the carrot and the donkey.
Just a carrot.
Keep going. We got y'all. We've done recipes in the journal. We've done recipes. We have recipe guides. We've put recipes and challenges. Look, we finally put the cookbook together. We're literally putting the polishing, the last touches on it. The recipes,
spit shine.
We're just spit shining it right now. Everything is ready to go. The recipes, everything. And what I decided to do, because y'all been rocking with us for so long, you're loyal to us, and also I want to see you guys get results. We're including the cookbook free of charge with the challenge. You register for the challenge. Okay. It's a 30-day challenge. You register for the challenge. We're giving you the Alkaline Cookbook free. It's a digital copy. I ain't giving y'all no physical copy for free. I'm not doing that one. But I will give you a digital copy for free so you can get the recipes in there. It's gorgeous. I mean, we took our time. We got some very tasty dishes in there. Some stuff that's maybe unique to some of you guys, maybe some stuff you've never really seen. And this is going to help you to be more successful, because ultimately, the biggest problem, why did people fail on this challenge, this experiment or whatever? It's because they wanted to eat something that tastes good. That's ultimately what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
Nothing on that list, cookie, cakes, or pies, is a bad tasting thing. They just wanted something that was comforting, filling, and tastes good. Satiation. It's satisfying. So if I can give you guys something that's satiating.
Is that a word?
Satiating.
Satious?
That's sating.
Hey, man, it's Christmas. You can't be talking about Satan, satious.
I think sating is the word.
Satiating?
Satiation? I feel like we can make up a word. If I give you something that's sating, you all will be that much more successful. So you get the challenge. You're going to be in the group, right? We've got the secret group on our platform, AHA Communities. You're going to get the cookbook. We're going to be rocking with you 30 days. We're going to teach you prep. We're going to teach you the R72, how to properly perform it. We'll be there to answer questions. Obviously, we already have the tools. And on top of all of that, I also included a quick start guide. So if you guys join the challenge today, you're going to get a quick start PDF that's going to help you lose 5 pounds in the next week. So over the next week, as you guys if you want to drop this Christmas weight, this Thanksgiving weight, this baby fat that's been hanging on for the past.
You just ate too, so we know.
It'll be a great way to flush your system and get it out. So grab, register now, okay? I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you guys are watching on Instagram, the link is in the bio already. Grab the quick start guide so you can get started right now. And over the next week, as we get ready to go into the challenge, you can drop them 5 pounds. And then, you know what I mean? That'll bring your average up. Maybe you lose 25 pounds, 35 pounds during the challenge.
Man, 25, 35 pounds, man, that could change somebody's life.
Especially women. Women always talk about how men lose weight faster. You know what, especially with fasting. But you know, one advantage you all do have is when you drop 20, 30 pounds, the significance in how you look is so much more dramatic. Women, you drop 30 pounds, man, that makes a big difference.
So men might lose more in numbers, but I mean, sometimes I see pictures and women will be like, oh, I lost 40 pounds. And I'm like, it looks like you lost 60.
Right. Yeah. Y'all, when y'all lose weight, it looks good.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the biggest things, especially about fasting, if the body is going to go typically after, and for the most part, for the largest resource available first, right? The body's very intelligent. It's very logical. It does things very logically. If it's wintertime, and let's say that you had huge logs or log stores of wood outside, you're going to typically use the largest store first. You're not going to use a small one, and then you got to go to the other house and back and forth. No, you're going to go use the large one first. And the largest place of storage of fat, typically, right? We all store fat differently, but for the most part, women particularly store fat in their midsection the most.
Someone just mentioned that in the comment section.
And not only do they store it in their midsection, but also it's not just the stomach, right? It's the lower stomach as well, right? So those parts where, you know, people talk about the mom pouch, things like that. You want to lose that stuff? You want to go to the gym and try to lose it? Good luck.
Uphill battle.
Good luck.
Uphill battle.
There's not enough crunches in the world.
I see women who are fit and they still have it.
Yep. There is a reason that the body stores fat there first. So you have to then use a tool that is going to go after the largest fat deposit first, which is going to be the midsection. The midsection, then it's going to go after your thighs. I'm sorry, ladies, it's going to go after your butt. And a lot of times women have larger boobs and they want to lose them if they're really too big. But I mean, it's going to go for the boobs too. But there are certain places the body keeps fat in places for reasons, but it doesn't like it around the midsection. It's called visceral fat. Your body will go after that. And just to, well, maybe Well, I'll tell you. No, I'm not telling. I'm gonna tell you this. You gotta watch my interview. That will be coming out.
We got a fire interview. I got so much content for y'all. I got some fire interviews coming. Okay, some long awaited interviews. Hit the like button. Yo, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, because we have some fire interviews coming. We've been getting a couple questions in the chat. Steve, if you want to just check Instagram, I'm gonna take a couple here.
Man,
You can't see none of them. So let's see here.
Can women fast during a monthly?
Yeah, women can fast during the monthly. Obviously, it's important to understand that your body's going to react a little differently.
Manage expectations.
But your body's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, what we see is women's hormone balance when they fast. So even when they're fasting around the time of their cycle or during their cycle, depending on what your dietary habits have been leading up to, a lot of women are like, I noticed that my mood was a lot better, and that my
cycle was lesser.
It wasn't as intense. So we do get that. Someone asked, when are you shipping the Root brand products and herbs? So a lot of y'all's products are in the mail currently. Okay, so what happened was we had a very high demand, a much higher demand for the products than we originally intended. We really just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to sample, and you guys were like, nah, like we want it all. So we ordered more in order to satiate the demand, and because of holiday and the shipping and everything like that, just stuff has been slowed down. But another round of packages just went out this weekend, and another round will be going out the beginning of the week. This week. Yeah, the week's already started. So the herbs and everything are on the way. So we just ask that you guys be patient with that. Don't worry either, because you'll have all the prep to use them. It's not like you got to use them day one.
I was gonna say they weren't in particular for the prep or doing it before. You can use them throughout the fasting period. If you didn't get your Root products, you want to go ahead and get them, because when I'm talking about, this video comes out, I'm gonna tell you a little something about Restore, which I said, oh, I can't ever stop taking Restore.
Yeah, Restore is crazy.
I found something that I ain't never found before.
Yeah, so we've got the herbal blend, which is a liver cleanse herbal blend. The Restore products you guys got was Clean Slate, Zero In, and Restore. Just so you guys know, a lot of people were asking about the Clean Slate. Clean Slate is extremely potent, okay? So you guys aren't getting a full bottle of Clean Slate. It's just a sample, but there's instructions in the box that's going to teach you how to utilize it. But Clean Slate is a heavy metal detoxer. It really just removes environmental contaminations from your system. Some of the particles are almost nanoparticle in size, if not smaller. So they're able to get into every crack and crevice of the body where some of these particulates live, and then it ushers it out through the urine. So it's important to take a lot of water in when you do it. This is also part of the reason why we want to incorporate this with a fasting challenge, because we know you guys will be drinking water. So that's pretty much it. And then if you guys want we're sold out of the Root products. Okay, we don't have any more. Y'all been emailing me, messaging me. We're sold out. We're fulfilling back orders as we speak. But you guys are always more than welcome to go to the Root Wellness brand and grab some if you want. The point of the samples were to give you an opportunity to get some of the product and test it and see if you liked it. That's it. But you guys can go to Root and get it. And we've been using that stuff for well over a year, so we vouch for it. Like I said, Steven said, he actually had a really interesting experience with Restore during his fast. So when you guys see that video, you'll know. But I'm going to grab the link for that and put it here in the chat for you guys. And then also, if you're watching on Instagram, it's already in the bio. So I'm just going to drop the link.
Drop the link.
If you don't mind, I'm just drop the link.
Drop the link.
Okay. All right. What else do we have? Steve, did you have any more on?
I don't know, man. I was saying something, but I forgot. I lost it.
You were talking about the cycle. We talked about the cycle.
Yeah. I had no more questions. So there was only that one question. Someone asked, "How do you take root?" I mean,
okay. So we included a card to show you how to take root, and at the end of the day, there's a couple different ways you could take it. So
yeah, you don't, and also you don't need to. I see this question. You don't need to buy root for this. Once again, this was the reason that it was put together specifically was because we wanted people to be able to try all 3 products. So they have a lot of products, but we focus on the trinity of them. So the original 3, and we wanted people to be able to try them without making a full commitment to it, if that makes sense. Financially.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary. You don't need them, but there are a lot of people who have found benefits by using them throughout their fasting journey and just in general. There's a lot of things that they work for, but they're not necessary.
There's always that question, like people think that they have to use them. Y'all, we would not put together a program to force you to have to use something in addition to joining the program.
There's a lot of like programs out there that make you buy. You join this and you need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy this. Like, hold on a second. Hey baby, we fasting. Like we're trying to take things out.
Yeah.
But there's a few things that we have found that actually assist with certain things while fasting. We give you the option to go and get that. But any one of the AHA programs, you don't need to buy anything
extra. I mean, you might need to buy some water, or you know what I mean, or some tools or whatever.
We're gonna have you buy some cucumbers and stuff.
Maybe a journal or something like that. But it's not gonna be like you gotta buy these products. So I got a comment here. My doctor told me Thursday I'm pre-diabetic. Done. Scared me, so I'm researching. So we've dealt with a lot of diabetics. AHA was founded on research of reversing diabetes. It was one of the first diseases that I dealt with, and one of the reasons why is because of how prevalent it is in our culture. And so it's I don't want to minimize it, but diabetes is one. When we're talking type 1 diabetes, or I'm sorry, type 2, it is one of the easiest diseases
to reverse. Even though they tell you it's a life sentence.
Especially consider how many lives it claims. Because if y'all if you're doing the research, you see how many lives diabetes claims in one way or the other, how many people it affects, and it's very, very easy to get rid of. And we talk about it, but you only need 30 days to get rid of diabetes.
30 days.
If you're locked in, you only need 30 days.
And the good thing is, the doctor said you're pre-diabetic, so your A1C is not that high at this point, right? If you're pre-diabetic, then hopefully at this point, you haven't started to have any major kind of like diabetic, like nerve damage, because obviously, having the insulin that high. I mean, all those issues over time make things really make them worse. They aggravate the situation. So if you're in a situation where at least you're pre-diabetic, I think you said it perfectly. It scared you. Good. That's the warning that, hey, I need to make a change.
You know what else should scare y'all? Constant headaches. You get headaches all the time. That's not nothing. Why is it that we get headaches all the time and we'll take Advil or Tylenol or whatever?
Treat the symptoms.
I don't care if you're on your cycle. I don't care if it's just a random Tuesday. If you're getting headaches all the time, that's not good. That should scare you. Your head is aching. There's a reason why, and you shouldn't just numb it, right? How much water have you been drinking? There should be a list of things you go down. Am I dehydrated? What's my stress levels been like? What's my dietary intake like right now? And rectify that problem, because when people say, oh, this person died of heart attack, 55 years old, how did it happen? No one saw it coming. They were a triathlete. It's because they ignored those subtle indicators leading up to the big thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have big things happen to us and we still don't heed the warning. People got to wait until they get cancer before they change. All that BS they taught you about, oh, everybody has cancer in them and you're going to get it no matter what. And it's just something's going to stimulate it and there's nothing you can do about it. That's all a lie. It's all a lie. It's all a lie to cover up what's truly causing the issue in the first place. Because if you guys knew what was causing the issue in the first place, the control mechanisms in place would just fall apart. if y'all knew exactly what was going on? So they have to come up with these elaborate lies, and they use science. I was going to say Scientology, but I'm not talking about Scientology. That's an actual religion.
Yeah.
But science is a religion. Science is a religion, okay? It's not based off of what we were taught science was based off of. It's been manipulated for hundreds of years, okay? Most of our most popular scientists in recent time, they're all theoretical scientists. That doesn't even make sense. They just make it up in their head. My theory is XYZ equals ABC. And if you use these numbers in this equation, you can see it and you can see my world. Like, bruh, what's happening in reality? Like, how do I lose weight for real? I don't want to know 3,500, put yourself in a caloric deficit. And that's how
these calculations.
All these calculations, man. I don't want to hear about all these calculations. Like, what do I have to do? So, what if you're taking depression medication? Can you still fast, Steve?
I mean, me personally, anytime that you're taking any medication, I'm going to want to wean you off of that before you start fasting. And simply for the biggest reasons, because your hormones are going to go, they're going to adjust. So it's something that you're going to have to decide. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different types of medication out there. Obviously, if we had a conversation and I was able to look at the type of medication you have, how long you've been on it, things of that nature, there's no one size fits all, right? So I can't say to somebody who's been on, Prozac for 10 days, right? I can just tell them, oh, just stop it, right? I mean, that's an easy decision. But if you've been taking it for 3 years, right, and you may be dependent on it, right? You want to be careful. But in general, medication in general during fasting, we really push people to either stop or really wean themselves off on it so your body actually will adjust its hormones naturally. And also, we also have to look at, of course, the liver and the damage it does on the liver.
Oh, my God.
And if you don't have any food in your stomach when you're taking these medicines, then the liver takes the brunt of all of those chemicals. So a lot of people have very low functioning livers and don't even know it. Once again, just in general, any medication that you're taking, you're really going to want to wean yourself off, especially if you know you're going to be fasting. Go ahead and start now, right? Start weaning yourself off. And if you've been taking it for a long time, then, but this is also why the Rolling 72 is so fantastic, because you're not doing 10, 21, 30 days. You're talking about 3 days.
Right.
So even at 3 days, I mean, you're in a very safe place, but obviously, as a disclaimer, right, we're not giving medical advice. You want to seek your medical practitioner, but in general, that's in generality, that's what you're going to want to do.
And see, this is the beauty of getting you guys into our network, whether it's challenges or our groups, because we can have more intimate interactions. So, for example, there are essential oils that you can use that will either replace or supplement your medication. Now, the beautiful thing about Restore or about Clean Slate, we were talking about Clean Slate earlier. Clean Slate helps to make any whether you're taking medications or supplements or just eating, because of how it works, it helps to make everything work better. So we have a lot of experience and knowledge around different topics. The goal is always going to be to get you off the medication, unless that's just not your goal. If that's not your goal, that's one thing. But for us, if you ask me, my goal is going to be get you off the medication, because you should be able to regulate your hormonal balance naturally. You shouldn't be dealing with this irregular amount of depression, right? And what people don't realize is all of our emotions are chemicals. It's all chemicals. Like I could give you a chemical that's going to make you cry. I can give you a chemical that's going to make you feel depressed. I can give you a chemical that's going to make you feel happy. This is where these drugs come. This is where drugs stem from. Like we don't really think about this. And so all the drug that you're taking is trying to do is artificially alter the chemistry in your body so that you don't feel depressed. But that comes at a cost. How many drug depression medications do you see one of the side effects is suicidal thoughts? Like
you're already depressed, right? You might not see. Here's a lot of what happens is you don't even have suicidal thoughts, but you're depressed. Then you take depression medication, and then you
develop suicidal thoughts.
It's because it's playing with your hormones. And the thing is that your hormones are unique to you, right? There's certain levels that you should be within, right? Based upon, we keep talking about this, well, because we're going to talk about an R72, right? We keep talking your microbiome, how you were birthed, right? Were you birthed by by cesarean, right, C-section, or were you birthed naturally? Right, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tidbit here.
Give them a little taste.
A lot of times, people have no idea, right? I mean, we'll go into the gut much more in the program, but when it comes to when we're born, right? When you're born in your mother, you have no gut microbiome. You have none. You don't have your mother's. You don't have your own. You have none, zero, right? Even though she's feeding you. What happens is based upon how you are actually birthed. So whether the doctor actually opened your mother and removed you, or you came naturally through her birth canal, will determine what your gut microbiome will be. Why is this important? Because your gut microbiome determines the bacteria that you start life with, right? So here's what this matters. What happens is that if you are born by C-section, right? So whether, if you were born or you have children, whatever, if you're born by C-section, what they find is that the gut microbiome of those babies typically have the gut microbiome that actually matches more of the doctor that actually pulled you out.
Wow.
The doctor that pulled you out of your mother, your gut microbiome looks much more like the doctor than it does your mother, right? This is really important. What you eat, right? And what you typically eat, your gut, of course, is going to break all those things down, and it's going to, depending on the diversity that you have in your gut, will determine what you can break down, the different varieties of foods and fibers, okay? So if your family is a family of, let's say that you guys eat a lot of like rice, maybe you're Asian, and I don't know, I'm thinking about Japanese, right? Maybe you eat a lot of noodles, and you eat a lot of seaweed, things like that. And let's say your doctor is born, he's white, and he doesn't eat those things. Let's say he eats a standard American diet. So he doesn't eat a lot of fiber. He has low diversity, right? He's just not actually the healthiest person, because doctors actually aren't that healthy, right? So what happens is, as you start to grow older, your parents will then be feeding you foods that they typically eat, and they have the gut microbiome to be able to break those foods down, and it doesn't bother them. But you have a microbiome that looks more like the doctor who eats foods that you don't eat. And now you don't have the microbiome that is able to break down the seaweed. It can't break down the umami. It can't break down all the things that your family naturally eats. And now you have digestive issues. And no one understands why. Because of how you were born and the foods that you eat, they don't match, and you don't have the variety to break those foods down. You're going to have gut issues. You're going to deal with SIBO. You're going to deal with IBS. You're going to have constipation and diarrhea issues. And all of that can stem from the difference of you being coming through your mother or coming through the doctor.
Wow.
That's just one little piece about gut microbiome and how it plays a role, right? And then, of course, in America, we have the worst microbiome out of all humans, and we have the lowest diversity, which means that when you travel, we eat things that we don't have the ability to break down. That's why people gain weight while they travel. What is healthy in another country may not be healthy to you. What is healthy to me may not be healthy for you. Now, that does not mean that they're not things that you shouldn't eat, but you need to do certain things that will allow you to then gain diversity in your gut. And that does not mean probiotics, right? There's different things that you can do that allow you to gain diversity, like having an animal, going outside and getting in the dirt, starting a garden, not washing your hands all the time, right? And one of the biggest things that I'm going to leave this one alone, but one of the biggest things that destroys your gut, one of the biggest things more than anything else, antibiotics. And we are an antibiotic first world. The antibiotics go in and they do not care. They kill everything. So you may have this amazing diversity in your gut. You may have this amazing, there's niches in your gut that are actually hiding and keeping bacteria. So that way, when your gut microbiome does get wiped out, they can actually replenish them, right? But antibiotics will destroy your gut health.
Wow.
So a lot of times after people, they get sick, they go to the doctor, they cut their hand. I mean, and I find myself in my life, I found to be, I thought I was pretty healthy. And I'm thinking I've had multiple rounds of antibiotics. So I can't imagine a person to get sick all the time. You're continuously wiping out all the bacteria in your gut, right? You don't have the ability to even break down and absorb the nutrition of the food that you're eating. So even if you're eating foods that are beneficial, you can't even break them down and absorb them, which can lead to malnutrition, which leads to anemia. I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
I know.
Whew.
I know, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
calm down, man.
Hey, man, I told you I got this video coming out, man. We're going, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like,
I'm sitting here thinking, right? I'm thinking about the science religion I was talking about earlier. And I'm thinking about all the commercials that I saw as a child, right? The soaps, Dawn and all, kills 99.9% of bacteria.
And what's your gut? Bacteria.
And they just demonize bacteria. You've got your skin, which is the largest organ that protects your body, right? And you're just killing all the bacteria, the soap, all the Dawn soap, the 2,000 body parts. The antibiotics, the hand sanitizers. The hand sanitizer.
People are getting sick during the pandemic. They're just using hand
sanitizer.
Just killing
your microbiome, going in your mouth, and it's really in the word. This is why words are so important. Antibacteria, anti means against, bio means life, against life. So it doesn't, like, if we just stop calling it antibacterial, let's just start calling it against life and see how many people want it. You want this thing? Well, what is it? It's against life. I bet you people stop getting it. It's all these freaking words, these Latin words and all this. The way they trick people with the words, the language, the word magic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been tricked into hating our bacteria, even though we're taught that we're more bacteria than we are human cells.
Hey man, a lot of people don't know that.
We're taught.
Yeah, that ain't a lot of people don't know that.
We're taught this stuff. We know this stuff, and yet we somehow we don't put two and two together. If that ain't conditioning, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
You talk about what's that word? Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like to the umpteenth degree. So what are we talking about? All we're talking about is going back to natural practices. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors didn't use antibiotics. They would have used the plant. And the good thing about plants, or essential oils or herbs or whatever, is that they give you the benefit without the negative side effects. But all of your drugs have built-in side effects. And the built-in side effects are designed to create a perpetual process. It's a perpetual motion machine. You have depression. You take a drug that maybe helps even you out, but then it also gives you thoughts of suicide and other issues. It also works your liver like crazy. So now you have liver damage, which is a new disease that they get to treat. And we know this. But we still eat the cookies and the pies for Thanksgiving and Christmas with reckless abandon. We don't care.
Reckless.
Right? And we know better. And it was like we talked earlier, everyone's getting sick. Someone mentioned their child getting sick 3-4 times. You know what I'm saying? It's so common and we just blame it on germs. No, it's your poor eating habits. It's the fact that you didn't have a proper microbiome when you were born, because now it is normal for people to schedule their pregnancies.
Listen, that is probably, this is part of that's new information that they just started within the last like 15 years.
Right.
No, not the scheduling the pregnancy.
Right.
Okay,
but the information that comes from it. Right. But somebody knew ahead of time.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not even natural to do these things. Like, it's not natural to have C-sections. This is new. We do surgery for absolutely everything. Everything.
Yeah, people don't. I don't think that. I mean, when we talk about that, people are like, oh, I'm just getting a C-section, da da da. Like, I don't think that you realize how detrimental that actually is. I mean, of course, you're literally cutting open
your abdomen.
I mean, just the what is it? The recovery time is crazy.
It's crazy.
Right? Yeah, obviously. Now, if you can do it naturally, That's really what it's meant to be done.
That's the way it's like. It's the C-section is supposed to be an emergency surgery. It's not a convenience. It's a convenience. It's like cosmetic surgery.
So it's such a detrimental thing that happens.
And not only that, we're not breastfeeding anymore because that's inconvenient because a lot of women are working now. Right? You got to get back to work, so you can't breastfeed.
You need that too. That's important.
Do you realize that the IQ of human beings has dramatically dropped since we've made some of these changes in our healthcare practices? Like, it's not even just about the physical health of the body. Our IQs are dropping. Like, we're dumber than we were.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Like, we're gonna wrap this up, man.
Yeah, man, we over here. We both over here on fire.
It's starting to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
We can do this for hours.
I'm starting to. It starts to piss me off because so many people are oblivious to it, and if you just knew the truth, you would make different decisions. Because people love their children. People love their children. It's like the one thing you don't do is mess with people's children.
Yeah.
And yet this society, this world is manipulating us into messing with our own children, not even knowing that we're having this harmful effect. Like, and then they'll blame you. They'll say, oh, it's your genetics or something.
That's not true.
Like,
I mean, essentially, I mean, it's not. It's really, I mean, it's bacteria. But I mean, but really, it's like if you're born a certain way and you should be eating a certain food, you should be eating a certain thing, and you're not, you're gonna have difficulty growing. Right? It's the same thing.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, we want you to join the challenge. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio. I'll add the link to the replays as well. I hope you enjoyed. We've had a consistent amount of people. We have about 200 people watching this entire time.
Ooh.
So y'all are
different from mine. I only see.
No, it's about 200 people. If y'all been locked in. We really appreciate it. You know what I mean? Taking some time out of your day to spend with us. We've got some amazing things coming up. New Year's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Join the R72 challenge.
Hey, and by the way, somebody asked about, I can't answer this question. We don't have time. It's too much. But somebody asked about binge eating. I just want you guys to know that in the R72 challenge, one of the lessons, so all the lessons and everything are completely different. If you've ever been in one of the 21s, these are all completely different because we're focused on weight loss specifically and food. And one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this challenge is emotional eating. And I'm going to give you 5 steps, literally step by step, how to stop emotional eating, why you're emotional eating. It's fantastic. It's a great lesson. You're going to get a lot of information, and you're going to look at things very differently after you then watch that lesson. So join the R72 challenge. Enjoy the rest of your holiday season.
Challenge starts January 1st, y'all. So get locked in before the challenge starts.
Yeah, don't wait till the last minute.
It's $85. It's $85 to register for the challenge. You're gonna get the Almost Alkaline Cookbook for free as a gift from us.
That's a deal.
It's a huge, bro. Y'all have no idea the amount of resources it went. Making a cookbook is not as easy as you.
You can get asked all the time. People are like, you should make a cookbook. You know what that takes.
You can throw a cookbook together. Don't get me wrong. You could throw a cookbook together, but what it takes to put it together right on a professional level, it's not easy. So I hope you guys enjoy that little gift I'm giving to you. We will see you all soon. See you in the challenge.
Peace.